Hi, I'm Dr. Jan Jaffer, and this is Got Teeth, a patient-centric monthly podcast featuring local health experts. Welcome. We have Colette and Morgan from the Impact Society. Thanks for coming and joining us.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah,
We just really appreciate this.
Yeah, so just having the conversation as we started, you and your husband started the Impact Society 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
Okay,
yeah.
so tell me a little bit about how it started.
Oh, that's a tough one because there's many stories within the big story, but I would say that we're from the Northeast Calgary. We just saw a lot of kids that didn't have the support that they needed, whether at home or anything. So we just, it was part of my husband's story because he eventually wrote Heroes in the premise of what would have I needed when I was 16 years old so that I wouldn't get to the point that he was ready to take his life because he just felt hopeless. And so you have all these kids that are going to school, whether they're so hungry because they haven't been fed properly, they live in poverty or whatever, like how do they learn, right?
Okay.
And then having that, that affects your self-esteem and your confidence. So again, it's going to show in your behavior. So he wrote Heroes and thought that we would just help at-risk kids in the Northeast, and we discovered really quickly that it's going to help many people over the years. So we're at over 250,000, correct?
Yeah.
Over 30 years of young people that we've been able to impact. So,
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you've been here a couple of years, joined them.
Yeah.
Tell me what Impact Society does kind of on a daily, weekly, monthly basis.
Yeah, for sure. I guess it kind of depends. We have a small but mighty crew with a lot of diverse skills, but depending on which department we're in, we all kind of come together with the common goal of just addressing the mental health crisis for youth. And that's really our strive in everything we do. We're very purpose driven. So regardless if we're going through a hard time, maybe donations aren't coming in or we can't get new schools, at the end of the day, we know what we want to do and we're going to do whatever we can to make sure more youth are supported with the Heroes program. So I can't speak for everyone. It's very different on a day-to-day basis, but I know everything we do, we're very purpose-driven.
Great. So tell me a little bit more about the Heroes program. What does that actually entail? How does that actually help at-risk youth?
Right, and again, I want to just reiterate, it's not just at-risk youth, and
Okay.
every student can benefit from
Okay,
it.
perfect. Okay.
So we start with building who a person is inside, because if I find I always go back to my junior high ages, which was a lot of decades ago, right? That everything was cognitive. It's like remember this, learn this, study this, and then write this. And that's how it's all behavior based. And now I'm just so thankful that schools are recognizing the importance of that social emotional piece, that we need to step back. Kids need to know that they're safe, they're valuable, that they matter before they're going to perform well, right?
Absolutely.
So if we start with that piece of confidence, self-esteem, self-image, self-dignity, who am I internally, they have to understand that first. Right, and so understanding that they have these amazing gifts and abilities internally, right? We're going to focus on that and not on your behavior. Let's talk about first what you're good at, and then we move on to the character piece of it, and that is helping students recognize that they need core values in their life to make decisions, right? Whether that is, the hope, the perseverance. We say that we aren't risk avoiders, we're risk navigators. So let's have some things in our life that we're rooted in so that can help us navigate those things, because they're going to happen in life, right? So if you have strong confidence, you have strong character, it's going to show in your behavior. And that's when we talk about, how do you be a people builder? How do you build and healthy relationships? And my favorite chapter is on friends, right? Because that whole piece of, and I think it's interesting right now, I'm just reflecting on my drive over here when kids aren't allowed to take their cell phones to school anymore, and how it's going to be really hard for them because they feel like they need that connection. They're going to realize that they're going to get it like this, right?
Yeah,
and
through
not like
their conversation,
this.
right?
But
Not
I mean,
through
the bottom
texting.
line is that they have that strong sense of belonging that they need. So, and then it's going to feel like they have some purpose in life, right?
Yeah.
They're going to feel like they're significant. So confidence, character, integrity, purpose is the kind of breakdown of Heroes.
And so how do you guys go about doing that? Are you going in and actually teaching some of these classes? Are you teaching teachers to teach some of these classes? Like, how does that actual process work so that students get to experience this, because it sounds amazing.
Yeah, it is train the trainers, so we
Okay.
do train the educators. There are a few volunteers that go in, and we try and get in as much as we can. It's, not as easy because we're a small team,
Yeah.
amazing team, but small team. But yeah, so we train the educators to
Okay.
teach it themselves, which is really great because then the whole school will eventually, hopefully, start to talk the language. When we talk about friendships, we talk about, do you have balcony friends? Do you have basement friends? Do you have living room friends? So all that conversation can go beyond just a classroom within the health and life skills. It can be in math, it can be whatever, it's like I'm seeing that you're being a balcony friend, shouting them out or whatever that looks like. So,
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're working with a lot of schools, and you were saying that you're working with schools across the country,
across
really,
the country,
to help train trainers to bring this ability for kids to just have a better, understanding of themselves.
Yeah, for sure. And also better understanding themselves, but then understanding their support networks that are around them. Because sometimes kids, they are there, but the kids don't realize it. So
Yeah.
we get them to recognize, who's somebody in your life, so that when you're going through a difficult time, before you're going through that difficult time, let's find that person, have a conversation with them, and say, I recognize that you are somebody in my life that I feel safe with, that I can feel like I could share, when I am going through difficulties. So
That's great. So if people are interested in finding out a little bit more, what's the best way to do this? I mean, there's obviously this Heroes book that you've got and the rest. Like,
for
tell
sure.
me how people could find out a little bit more about the Impact Society.
Yeah, I'm gonna let
Yeah, for sure. Well, we do have a lot of different platforms to kind of connect to different audiences. I'd say the first way to learn the most is to go to our website, which is www.impactsociety.com. Super easy to find, but we have a lot of other things. We're active on social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We also have our own podcast as well called Talking Impact, where we have a lot of different perspectives come in and share their expertise, talking about mental health, talking about policing, lots of cool topics there as well. But I would say those are kind of the top ones. And of course, if you ever have any questions, you can always contact us at heroes@impactsociety.com.
Great.
Those are kind of the best ways to get in touch with us.
Perfect. And then supporting you guys, obviously, through the website as well. I would assume
Correct,
that there's ways to support through either volunteering or financial donations through the website.
Yeah, financial donations. And then I was just gonna add to what Maureen said, if you are a parent yourself and would like to see that in your kid's school, to contact us, and then
Okay.
we can have conversations and connections to happen. We also have a parenting program too, so that parents can start to have the same conversation as they're
Okay.
hearing in the Heroes classroom.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. So you can
yeah.
train parents to manage this a
Correct.
little bit better at
Yeah,
home as well and do it.
absolutely.
Awesome.
absolutely.
Well, I mean, we just had an event recently through Mackenzie Dental and through Trek Dental. We're happy to, provide a financial donation to the Impact Society for, the great work that you're doing. And it's great to hear about it. And our hope is through this, more people will continue to hear about the work that you're doing, and it'll continue to impact more people.
Amazing. Thank you. Yeah, our desire is for Heroes to be a household name. So
Yeah.
gonna
Well,
work
great.
on that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank
thanks
you.
for joining us.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Cool.